It's really sad. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll definitely miss playing Max because it's such a big part of like who we are, like these characters. And
Nailed it.
I know you
Come on.
did it.
Yeah, you did.
Like I would have to like look at my. I mean, you nailed it. Like that was exactly it. Like it's so draining, but it's the best kind of draining because you feel like really good. Like but yeah, that was a I think we filmed that over like a few weeks, I guess. And Jamie, who plays Vecna, is incredible, and he's like the best scene partner, I think.
It's awesome. Working with Joe is always incredible, and he's a dear friend. Right.
And I actually won. I rolled a 20 like I did in the show, so that was fun. Yeah.
Jaws will be dropped for sure.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very wild. I mean, honestly, like I'm most excited for Volume 2.
Welcome to Pinkvilla, Gaten, Priah, and Sadie. It's so much fun to talk to you guys because I know everyone's talking about Stranger Things 4. But for you guys, it was almost 3 years where y'all had to keep mum and y'all had your no spoiler face on. But now that it's finally out and people are loving it, I had to ask you about one particular finale sequence where the Upside Down meets the real world finally. So how fun was it to shoot that particular sequence?
Oh, man. Well, I don't think...
When the opening, when you find the connection and you're pulling them on top.
Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
And one of those things that like we had to see it in the final cut to like really understand it.
What was going on?
Yeah,
I didn't
it
understand
was
the
very
physics
confusing.
at all.
Yeah.
But then, once seeing it, then it was really like cool. I understand.
Yep.
Like visualizing, I was like, cause we were there and I was like tugging on the rope. I'm like, how does this work? I was looking at it, I'm like, I don't know. Like, but the best part is that like they just cut a hole into like the ceiling of the trailer set, and we're just looking up, and everyone in the crew is just there. And I'm like, this looks so weird. You just see set, and it always is better. Editing is key.
Yeah.
And also in season 4, I feel like all of y'all had standout moments, whether it's Erica's D&D win or you uncovering the mystery, and even with Sadie, obviously I think you must have heard this, the running up that hill sequence. But is there a particular sequence on the show of another character that made you want to play that character, even if it was just for that one scene?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Oh. Like, I mean, I thought the scene in Russia where they're like fighting off the Demogorgon and Hopper's got like the torch. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. A lot of fun. Plane crash sequence.
Oh,
Awesome.
Yeah. Amazing.
Really, but also Winona and Brett together is such an unlikely funny pairing. Just a really spot on connection there. It's like I just like when Brett was introduced to the show in season 2, to imagine like that being a storyline is like no one would ever think. And they're good at that. They're good at diverting expectations and delivering on that. It's always really cool. Really good.
What about you?
I guess really the pep rally scene. I think that would be fun to like be a part of. I guess maybe like I guess I'm gonna choose Chrissy.
Okay.
Yeah, I like her. Yeah.
This question is for Gaten. What does it feel to be in the best relationship in Stranger Things, which is the bromance between Steve and Dusty?
Of course. It's awesome. Working with Joe is always incredible, and he's a dear friend. And I love all the stuff we get to do. I think what's great is like it just kind of oddly enough it came naturally. I think in a weird way. I think when we found out we were going to be working together, it was more of a way to transition from not really having much to do, kind of being at a dead end plot-wise for both of our characters, and needing a reason to get to the junkyard in season 2, needing a reason to get us to meet up with you and Caleb. And they had no idea how to do it, and like I guess they can go together because Dustin needs a ride. And it grew from there wonderfully, and it's always been such a pleasure working with him.
And for Sadie, like we were talking about the Dear Billy episode, while I would assume that it was emotionally very taxing, but I also feel it was professionally very fulfilling. So how was that feeling for you throughout that entire episode?
You nailed it. Like that was exactly it. Like it's so draining, but it's the best kind of draining because you feel like really good. And like, but yeah, that was I think we filmed that over like a few weeks, I guess, and Jamie, who plays Vecna, is incredible, and he's like the best scene partner, I think. So yeah, it was really fun, and like you said,
Yeah.
like creatively fulfilling, but also exhausting.
Yeah. And also with Erica, I feel like that D&D win along with Lucas's basketball shot was just such a,
That's so
I love the interlacing there. So how is it to play with the boys and, actually be the ultimate winner in the end?
It was cool. It was great. It was actually really fun. And for a press event, actually, me, Gaten, Finn, and Joaquin, we got to play D&D. Like, we had like a campaign or whatever for press.
Was right.
And I actually won. I rolled a 20
Yeah.
like I did in the show. So that was fun.
That
Yeah.
was really, really cool.
And, Running Up the Hill, I feel like it's such an underrated song choice. Like, you would think that you'd come up with like an 80s classic or a 90s classic, but with Running Up That Hill, for you guys, is there an underrated song in your playlist?
Oh.
Not like a popular tune, but an
Yeah.
underrated tune that you think would be your favorite song.
One of my favorite songs is Vincent by Don McLean, and usually he gets a lot of credit for American Pie, which is of course a classic,
Yes.
but that one is one of my favorites. It's about Vincent van Gogh, and it's awesome. It's a good song.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Great
Yeah.
song.
Or Priya.
Like an underrated song in my playlist?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I can't even think of
Yeah, right. I don't even know how I came up with one quick. I've never done that before.
Yeah.
What about
Underrated. I'm trying to think of something
Yeah.
that's underrated.
Nailed it.
I know
Come
you
on.
You're on
Yeah,
point.
Like, I would look at my playlist, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I know a very underrated song. It's called Over and Again by Buff Chick. It's very good.
Cool.
Give it a listen.
I honestly can't think of one right now. I feel like all the songs in my playlist are pretty much, they have like a good rating from like my friend group and
Yeah.
stuff. So I can't think of one.
Okay. While obviously y'all can't reveal spoilers about part 2, but if I had to ask you to give me one expression of how do you think the audience is going to react after seeing those 2 episodes, what would the reaction be?
I think Jaws will be dropped. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very wild. I mean, honestly, like, I'm most excited for Volume 2 to be
Yeah.
released. Like, that is the craziest. Like, Volume 1 is just setting up for those final 2
Mhm.
episodes. So I think people are going to be really, really happy.
I think it's gonna be one of those where like the credits roll and wherever you are, whoever's there, it's just gonna be like silence.
Silence, and you'll probably sit there
And
for a long
just
time.
a long time, which is always fun.
Yeah. And my final question for you guys is, Stranger Things is ending with season 5. But how does it feel, because you've been with these characters for as long as you have, how does it feel that now you're finally, eventually, there is still time, but you are going to say goodbye to these characters that made you a household name? How does that feel?
It's really sad. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll definitely miss playing Max because it's such a big part of like who we are, like these characters. And not so much that like we put a lot of ourselves into them or they ripped off on us in a way, but it's just like, I don't know, we're so used to them and it's like they're like friends at this point.
Anyways, thank you guys so much.
Thank
you.
We can't wait for the second part and the 5th season as well.
Oh, me too.
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.